Have you ever listened to someone tell a story that felt too perfect? Their words flowed like poetry, their eyes never left yours, and yet, deep inside, something felt off. Maybe it was the way they smiled at the wrong moment. Maybe it was how details shifted when you asked again later. Or maybe it was just that quiet sense that what you were hearing wasn't real. That moment, that silent jolt of recognition, is where the psychology of a pathological liar begins to show. Most of us lie a little. We say we're fine when we're not. We tell a friend their haircut looks good when we're unsure. These are small social lies that keep relationships running smoothly. But pathological lying is another world entirely. It isn't about smoothing tension or avoiding awkwardness. It isn't even always about manipulation. It's a compulsion, an almost automatic urge to bend reality. A pathological liar doesn't just lie to you. They lie to themselves. And over time, they get lost inside their own stories. Psychologists believe this can begin early. Imagine growing up where honesty is punished, where telling the truth leads to rejection or pain. In that environment, your mind adapts. It learns that fiction feels safer than reality. With years, that adaptation hardens into a habit, and the habit becomes a part of who you are. Others link pathological lying to deeper issues like narcissism, antisocial traits, or unresolved trauma. But here's the haunting truth. Not every pathological liar is malicious. Some genuinely cannot stop fabricating. For them, lying feels as natural as breathing. While most of us weigh the cost of a lie, for a pathological liar, the story comes out instantly, almost unconsciously. And many are master storytellers. They know that people don't just hear facts, they feel stories. Their lies tap into curiosity, empathy, and emotion. But that skill carries a price. They build relationships on sand. And when the tide of reality comes in, trust dissolves in an instant. If you've ever been close to someone like this, you know the confusion. One moment you feel connected, the next you're questioning everything. This isn't accidental. By shifting stories, denying past statements, and doubling down on contradictions, pathological liars can make others doubt their own memory. It's called gaslighting, sometimes conscious, sometimes not. Over time, everyone around them starts living inside the altered reality too. Why would someone live this way? At the core of pathological lying is a desperate need for control. Over how others see them, over their story, over a world that once felt unpredictable. For some, lying is a shield against shame. For others, it's the only way they know to feel noticed or loved. And here's the tragedy. Beneath the false confidence lies insecurity and fragility. Imagine a child who first puts on a mask only when scared. But over time, the mask becomes comfortable, then permanent. Eventually, they forget how to take it off. That's what pathological lying does to the soul. Of course, not every liar fits the same mold, but the cost is always high. What they gain in the short term, admiration, sympathy, a sense of importance, they lose in the long term. Trust, intimacy, authenticity. And those are the very things that make life meaningful. Pathological liars are often victims of their own lies. Repeated deception rewires the brain. It becomes easier, less stressful, but relationships crumble, credibility evaporates, and inside, an identity crisis brews. Because if every story is fiction, who are you really? This raises an uncomfortable question. If a person lies so often they believe their own lies, does the truth still exist for them? Are they deceivers or the deceived? And yet, this extreme reminds us of something universal. We all tell ourselves protective stories. Not always pathological, but still a way to soften reality. The pathological liar isn't some alien creature. They're an extreme reflection of a very human tendency, reshaping truth so it doesn't break us. So how do you deal with someone like this? Psychologists recommend compassion and boundaries. Compassion, because pathological lying often hides deep wounds. Boundaries, because without them you risk being pulled into the illusion. It's not about fixing them. That rarely works. It's about preserving your own clarity and recognizing their lies reflect their pain, not your worth. Confronting a pathological liar with anger alone usually backfires. Anger fuels their defense. What sometimes works is calm clarity, reflecting reality back without shaming, offering truth without cruelty. It doesn't always break through, but when it does, the liar learns the world doesn't end when the truth is spoken.